So 3?
Yeah.
There isn't 5, yep.
Okay.
And, let's see.
Yes.
So let me see, does somebody want to read the minutes?
Yep.
Oh, Michelle, you're going to do it?
I'll do it.
Awesome.
Library trustee meeting minutes for September 13th, 2022. Meeting was called to order at 6:05 p.m. Present was Director Jen Crosby, Chair Paula Pete, Vice Chair Kate Mercier, Denise Conte, Helen Herto, Michelle Petras, Candace Ribeiro. Absent Nita Abbott, Janice Cook, Terry O'Connor. Minutes of last month's trustee meeting were read, amended, and accepted as amended. Director's report, Baker and Taylor issues now resolved after being down for about 3 weeks. Policy work, behavior policy and procedures is up for review. Suggested changes to make policy shorter and to the point. Suggested changes include title change to patron behavior policy, revised introduction for inclusivity, review and updating of general behavior guidelines. Discussion held, motion made by Candace to amend patron behavior policy, seconded and approved. Children's room use policy up for review next month. Current library statistics, there was a total of 6,724 circulations in August, which is up 272 from July. The peak busy times of the week continue to be 11 a.m. daily and Friday afternoons. The circulated value of items was $83,918.76, which is comparable to July. Fall activities. The library continues to offer monthly book group, quilting group, knitting group, and self-run puzzle and coloring tables. A pastel workshop is scheduled for November 12th. Jen will be proposing a coffee and chocolate program to the Friends for December 10th. Youth activities. Playgroup starts again this week on Wednesday and Friday mornings. Fall drop-in crafts are scheduled. Reading to Dogs scheduled twice a month, and book club is starting back up this week as well. Teens will be celebrating Banned Books Week and Dungeons and Dragons club meeting every Wednesday after school. We are gauging, that's not how you spell gauging, is it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Doesn't look right. Okay, we are gauging interest for a potential chess group and Magic the Gathering group. 2023 Cultural Council grant applications, Ed the Wizard, John Root's Mushrooms of the Northeast, sorry, and How to Pastel, which is strikes. And How to Pastel Paint with Greg Majek, Roses. Conflict of interest law. Each trustee must take review online through the State Ethics Commission and submit 2 copies of certificate of completion to Jen. This is required every 2 years. Warrants, $344, Baker and Taylor and Dorenzi Business Technologies, and $1,742.99, Baker and Taylor, Blackstone Publishing, Ingram Entertainment, Midwest Tapes, Dorenzi Business Technology, and Library Journal. Motion made by Helen to accept warrants as presented, seconded, and approved. Other business. Jen handed out free trial copies of Book Page magazine, which includes book excerpts, book reviews, and author information. Cost is $300 a year for 50 copies a month. Helen reported that the trimming, pruning, and mulching of the library gardens is complete. Also, Alice's Memorial Garden is finished with the exception of signage. There is a dedication of Alice's Garden scheduled for October 15th at 10 a.m. Helen also suggested that we could support a new local author, Kevin Flanders from Palmer, who has written over 20 horror, mystery, thriller, and sci-fi novels, by holding a book reading or signing in the future. There is a trustee orientation scheduled here at the Granby Library on October 4th. Trustees are encouraged to attend. Next trustee meeting October 11th, 2022 at the library. Meeting adjourned at 7:30 p.m.
That's great. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Anybody want to make a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion to accept the meeting minutes as read.
Seconded?
All in favor? Aye.
Thanks, you're up.
Okay, awesome. So my first thing I have is our financial report was successfully submitted on time. The state aid awards are announced usually after January. They meet January, February, and March. So depending on which round we're in, we will know sometime in the winter. The report from our staff development committee. Now I know Janice Cook isn't here and you were unable to attend. We did come up with something. We didn't do a whole lot at the meetings. She didn't miss a lot. We basically talked about this circulation assistant position that's in front of everybody. I gathered about 15 different postings from other libraries and their job descriptions for what a part-time circulation position would be and what it would look like. So we kind of took all the best elements from each one that we liked that pertain to our library, and this is what we came up with. Bless you.
Oh, Sean, I read
What are you looking at? Who wanted to do it?
apparently. Sorry.
What we are proposing is a 15-hour-a-week position. The position is supervised by the library director, and their direct reporting staff would be volunteers. The job description is the circulation assistants responsible for providing clerical services in the areas of circulation support, patron services, and collection maintenance. The circulation assistants responsible for the completion of the following tasks: working at the circ desk, checking in and out of library materials, knowledge of Evergreen ILS for all circulation tasks, assisting patrons with placing holds and searching the OPAC, processing incoming and outgoing holds, notifying patrons of available holds and maintaining the hold shelf, printing and processing the pull list of holds, recording daily patron usage statistics, shelving and shelf reading library materials, and processing overdue notices. And then as far as patrons go, they'd be answering the phone, informing patrons of all library services and upcoming events, answering basic reference questions both in person, over the phone, and online, providing readers advisory services, creating new library cards, updating existing patron accounts, assisting patrons in using in-house technology and digital services, troubleshooting issues with computer, printer, photocopier, and other in-house technology, collecting and recording print copy fees and monetary donations, informing patrons of and enforcing library policies, handling patron complaints courteously in the absence of the library director and reporting them to the library director, and other duties supervising volunteers. And then of course we always have to put that last sentence in. The circulation assistant may also be assigned additional tasks by the library director. Just because if all of that wasn't enough for a 15-hour position. So we put that as far as the qualifications go, a high school diploma minimally. This isn't going to be a big paying position. It's going to be 15 hours a week with no benefits, so it's going to be pretty entry level. Previous experience, if they have, with customer service, especially in a library, enjoyment of working with the public. We don't want anybody cranky. Ability, it's very true. We have like a really good rapport going with the community. We don't want to mess that up with the cranky. Ability to effectively supervise volunteers, comfort using a variety of technology, willingness to learn new technology, ability to handle multiple tasks, maintain composure and treat patrons with kindness and respect in a busy setting, enthusiasm, energy, and accuracy in completion of all tasks. Preferred that they have previous working experience in a library. And then there's of course the physical demands: standing, bending, crouching, reaching, climbing, walking, ability to push or pull a book truck weighing up to 75 pounds without knocking it over on themselves, ability to operate a computer screen for an extended period of time. Does anyone have any questions, additions?
I do.
Yes.
Direct reporting staff, what does that mean?
So the only staff that would come to them, that would be reporting to them, would be our volunteers. So if we had a volunteer working at the circ desk or shelving, so they would report to them.
Okay, so does that mean that they're the supervising volunteers, to me that seems like something that you should be doing versus this person, because this is going to be like a minimum wage person pay.
Right, true.
So that's why when I saw that, I just was like, it sounds like they're responsible for the
Yeah, maybe we should
volunteers.
reword that, like task managing, like they might be saying like, I'm gonna work on this if you wanna go do that kind of a
Even
thing.
like assisting volunteers or something,
Oh, that's a good
less than supervising.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it does kind of sound.
I just read my whole job description, so I'm tuning into all the words. I was like, whoa, what's that word mean here?
Good timing. Okay, yeah, you know what, why don't we take that direct reporting staff right out?
Okay.
And then we do have it down somewhere, other duties supervising volunteers. We can change that to
Assistant?
assisting volunteers with task management? Or just assisting volunteers?
Just assisting volunteers, I think is,
Yeah, I think.
I don't think you have to get that
You don't have to
specific.
get specific, yeah, okay,
About overdue notices.
yes.
Yeah, I want to ask about that too.
That we,
We don't really do that anymore.
Isn't that done automatically?
It is done automatically now. The only ones that we do in-house are if somebody has things that are extremely late, like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that they just haven't brought back. I will usually send out a letter, but then again, that usually comes from me.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate nasty gram.
I would get rid of that then.
Okay.
do you have any of those,
Not often, but every now and then we'll kind of be tipped off to it if there's like a book someone's looking for and we see that it's been missing for so long and we go and see who had it and then we're like, oh wow, that's a problem. So yeah, it's one of those that you kind of fall
In the bigger
onto.
libraries, do it automatically too.
Yeah, a lot of them just automatically send it, but then like the really bad ones have to call sometimes to send a letter. Where was that? That one is circulation. Thank you. Process overdue notices. Yeah, we don't really do it quite the same way anymore. Okay.
So this is just one position, right?
This is one position. My ultimate goal is to ask for 2 of these people. I would like to have one morning and one afternoon person so they could kind of alternate. So we would always have a part-time person here assisting, and then they would do Saturdays. If we only get one position, we'd have to make a decision whether or not we would want a morning or an afternoon person, and then that person would work every Saturday. And then if we have 2, they could alternate Saturdays. So kind of have to see how it shakes out.
Are you thinking, what's your reasoning behind thinking 2 rather than 1?
If we had 2 people, we would have full coverage all of the time.
But if you have 1 with more hours, you could do that too, but then are you thinking it would just, they'd have to cover benefits and things like that? So you're trying to get, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So a lot of libraries are breaking positions down into
Avoid that.
small, little part-time things, especially for this type of, like I would never expect like our children's librarian to be, a part-time thing.
Right.
But this particular type of position would benefit really well having 2 people. That way somebody we always have 2 people to call on to say, oh, hey, can you switch and do this? Or, to kind of make it a little easier to deal with having more staff.
Right.
And then it also would be good, I think, from the person who might be taking the job's perspective, if they can only do mornings because they're, mom hours or whatever, so it might work out. We have a lot of college, Simmons College kids in the area going to MHC, so.
you see it as 5 days a week, 3 hours?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's how we had a 15-hour position before, and that's how we split it up, the 3 hours a day. So it'll be short and sweet.
Do you as a committee talk about what you'd like for a salary or, pay rate, or is that you leave that up to the town?
Yeah, we didn't really touch on that in the committee.
And most places are just saying minimum for
The minimum.
certain section,
Actually,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
I've seen more.
right? Really?
I've seen like
Depends.
17.
Maybe
It
the town
probably
to
depends on the
compete or
size of
something
the
like
town.
that.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, like, it would be pretty
I
entry.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
know. I could be wrong.
It's hard, because,
Yeah.
you
Because
don't.
like everybody's paying more than minimum wage now.
It's hard.
I know, Popeyes feed of 16 to 18.
Yeah, the town can't get that grant office where they were wanting to, it's been open forever.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
The only-
and that's really high
The
day.
only up with this, I think, is that it's just kind of a nice job. And a lot of the people that volunteer here might
Yeah.
be interested
True.
and,
It's true.
you know, pick up a few bucks. And,
Yeah.
I mean, the pay isn't really the thing, it's where you work.
Or like you said, a
Yeah.
college student.
College
Fit
students,
around
seniors,
their
yeah, that
schedule.
makes a lot of
Right,
sense.
yeah, you're right, so instead of taking up someone's entire day.
Nobody's gonna pay the mortgage on
Yeah.
this.
And then
No,
especially with like COVID outages or like, you know, people just being sick and on vacation, it's nice to have more bodies to
Right.
cover the building,
Mhm.
even at different times. That's my ultimate goal.
And the students might like it because they'll have like on their resume when they go somewhere else.
Exactly. It's wonderful
It's
for
always
anyone
huge for them.
going to school right now to get just a little bit of entry level in there because so many people want
When
you
you
to
apply to
have
another library
experience.
as a library, you have to have something.
Yeah, they always look like they want experience, but how do they start it if they don't have experience kind of a thing? So it might be a perfect fit for someone like that. That's why I didn't make the qualifications too high, and same thing, like no one with, you know, like a degree is gonna come in and say, oh, I'll work 15 hours a
Right.
week for 18 bucks an hour, you know,
Right.
kind of a thing. So, our next steps would be to get this cleaned up and approved by the board, and then approach our town administrator about where to go from here, kind of a deal. So, he would then point us in the right direction for what we would need to do and what the timeline might look like and whether or not it's feasible.
Right.
And whether it would have to go in front of the town meeting.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. He'll be the powers that be that will tell us all of that stuff. So our main goal for tonight is just to approve this. If anyone has any other.
Do you really foresee somebody leaving to push or pull a book truck weighing up to 75 pounds?
If it's really full.
I thought that too. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of weight.
Do you know what? I put that on there because we have had instances in the past where they will tip over if they are pushed the wrong way. So, you know, putting that in there to let people know that, you know, it's not always easy. If it is really bogged down with a ton of stuff and you're just moving along and you push it the wrong way, it can go right over on you. And it is hard to
You know when
do.
someone's like, I can't do it, and you're having to do it, and then it's sort of a job.
Exactly, like it's better to throw it out there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and have the expectation there and then have them not have to push a cart that weighs that much, but not that it couldn't happen. We have some of those double-sided carts, we bog that down and it goes over, it's a mess.
So who would be presenting this to our town administrator?
It would be myself and if anyone from the staff development committee can come as well, Janice Cook and Denise, if everyone's comfortable with that.
Well, I would make a motion to accept this circulation assistant job description as amended.
Okay, want that a second? Yeah.
Oh, did you
I'll
say?
second it, yeah. All in favor?
Okay. And I will get it cleaned up.
We don't have another date yet for the meeting.
Not yet. When I get back from my trip, I will get everyone together and we'll work on that.
Where are you
Okay.
going?
I'm going to Texas for a wedding this
Oh,
weekend.
Fun.
So, yeah, it's
Awesome.
gonna be fun. I'm excited, but my flight leaves at 6 o'clock in the morning, so not as fun as I wanted it to be.
When are you leaving, Jen?
I'm leaving on Friday morning, coming back on Monday.
And so far, your flight is still scheduled for 6 o'clock.
Still, well, I scheduled it was like 8:30, leaving out of Bradley, so I'm like, this is good, and then they changed it to 6
Oh, they
a.m.
did change it.
with a
yeah.
stop.
changed
Yeah, I know, that's
Yeah.
terrible. I was like, oh. It's fine,
Yeah,
he needs
but
to sleep.
It'll be fun when you get there.
Yeah, it'll be really fun when I get
Just go
there.
down the night before and spend the night in the airport. That'll be awesome.
Right? We'll just, we'll be all dolled up, ready to go. We use my hair dryer in their bathroom. They love it. But anywho, so I'm just going to be gone for a little long weekend. I'll be back on Wednesday next week. Anyway, our current statistics update for the month of September, we had 5,048 circulations, so a little bit less than last month, or August rather, which is to be expected. It has quieted down with school starting and everyone running here and there and doing all their activities. But it's still doing pretty good. We still have the peak times. It's 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. seem to be the busiest times of every day. And we saved our patrons a total of $60,848.72. Previous month's circulation was 6,724, so it went down, but still 5,000 is not bad. For our fall activities, we did get the yes on the coffee and chocolate program, so we will be having that in December. But I will have a sign up because I'm definitely going to need people to sign up for that. We currently have a Hocus Pocus Trivia Challenge, a local author talk coming Wednesday, October 26th. I don't know if anybody knows who he is. His name is Michael Dame. He lived in Granby in like the 80s and then moved around, but then started writing books, and he actually came back and visited us and then told me that he wrote a book. So
Is he living around here again?
I believe he lives down in Myrtle Beach now,
okay.
so he's coming up to visit.
Oh,
He's going to visit us and have an author talk and a book signing. He wrote a book called The Myrtle Beach Mystery Kids, Into the Eye of the Hurricane. So it sounds kind of interesting. Yeah.
So that's next week, huh?
Next, gosh, yeah.
Yes.
The Wednesday I come back. Time is going way too fast. Yeah, so he'll be here at 4:30. It says 4:31 on our sign. That's wrong. I need the 0. But you can come at 4:31 if you want to. We also have our pastel workshop is going. It's happening. It's happening here in person. I have a sign-up sheet for it. And then I have new autumn-themed puzzle and giant coloring page in our great hall for people, and our knitting and book group as usual. For the youth services, we have a Halloween Read a Bingo sheet, Halloween-themed I Spy, for Read to Dogs, and our book club for the kids is actually visiting the Emily Dickinson Museum next Friday, 2 Fridays from now. As part of their little book group. Yeah, they read The Mouse of Amherst, and then we're going to be going over and doing that. A little jealous. And we still have Dungeons and Dragons happening, lots of fall-themed take-home crafts, and our Rock and Mineral group will be returning in November. We haven't had him here in a while, so.
Is it, what's his name, John?
Yeah,
Marcy.
Yeah, he'll be here.
Oh.
Yeah, he's starting up again. I'm not sure if it's going to be the regular thing, but he'll be here November 5th. Yeah.
He actually offered to donate some stones for Alice's garden. I have no idea what Alice.
Oh, he has some beautiful things.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
That's something we should,
Yeah, I'll come, I can definitely come, yeah. I know a little bit. Sure.
That really. And our teens also have a take-home craft, a creepy guessing jar, and a Fright Night with a Book mystery book take-home. I think that's everything happening in the building. I wanted to remind everyone about the conflict of interest that's due. Did anyone not get the paperwork for it?
Is it an email?
I think.
Yeah, it came through the email.
Came through an email, but you also passed out.
You passed out a
I passed it
packet
out
when
with
we
the
were
paper.
here, yeah.
But you don't really need that to take it.
You just need to
No,
know what the address is to go to.
Right.
The web
Yeah.
address and.
oh,
Give us
this
a
is
copy.
so much fun.
I haven't got it, Kathy.
Oh, true. I'll look, yeah.
When is that due, Jen?
Whenever we get it done, basically. I have been hanging on to them all, and I figured I would turn them all in at once, so. Whenever Kathy decides to yell at me that she wants them back. Take my sweet time.
And what did you say about, because I noticed it's not in your note, what did you say about the chocolate thing?
Oh, that was an afterthought. The coffee and chocolate program that we talked about in the
Yeah.
minutes, it was approved, so
Okay.
it will be happening. Last month, we didn't know yet if it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And
was
happening.
Still for that date,
Yes.
December 10th?
Yeah, December 10th. I'm excited. Although I stopped drinking caffeine, so she has decaf. And I did order Book Page, that
Okay.
little thing that I sent and gave everybody last time.
Magazine.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did decide to go ahead and do it because we have the grant money and I thought, people were really seeming to like it. And they gave us this cool little stand for it up at the circ desks and makes it look really nice.
I
Yeah.
always thought you had it. A lot of libraries just have it, I guess.
Yeah, we actually, I hadn't heard of it until Gloria, one of our volunteers, came in and she was like, oh, I've been looking at this. I got it from somewhere else. And she was just like, have you ever looked into this? And then I got them as a trial. And I was like, oh, I like this. So, it's kind of neat. But then it's also a little bit of pressure to make sure I have a lot of the books that are in it when people open it up and go, well, do you have this
Oh,
one?
yeah.
No.
That's not good.
So I'm like, oh gosh, the heat is on. I gotta make sure we have them when they come out, otherwise our whole community will.
So is this for people to look at while they're here, or?
And they can take it with them.
home?
Yeah, we get 50 copies a month, so people can
And
just
they
take
keep
them.
them?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of cool. They have reviews and special interest.
One last one.
I have the Halloween one. They have like an October special Halloween edition at the desk if you guys want. I'm sorry, who's here?
I hear a voice.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's our cleaning company. Hello?
Hi,
Hi.
housekeeping?
Oh, okay, we're just having our meeting. We will be done pretty shortly.
Did you guys want the door closed?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you come to my house next?
Not tonight.
So the next thing I have is the warrants, and I have 3 of them. They're kind of a lot. I'll read them off if you'd like. The first one is for $3,035.74 for Go NetSpeed, Baker and Taylor, Scholastic Library Publishing, and Demco. There's one for $1,003.15 for Baker and Taylor, Blackstone Publishing, Ingram Entertainment, and Demco. And lastly, $4,236.76 for Go NetSpeed, Baker and Taylor, Bookpage, Ingram Entertainment, and Midwest Tapes.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's our new phone company for our copper lines that we have for the fire system.
Yeah, it used to be Otelco.
Otelco, yes. So they've changed
So,
it.
yeah, they changed to Go NetSpeed.
That's a lot better.
Theirs, it's $90.94 for that one. And then this month it was $89, so it's roughly $90 a month, which is pretty comparable to what we've been paying. But I spent a lot of money on books this year. It's been a lot of money on books. We had, Baker and Taylor had a really big outage, as we had talked about before, and that sent their billing department into a frenzy, and they kind of just bulked it all and sent it to me at once. So it was kind of like a couple months worth of bills all in one. So I'm still sifting through.
It's weird, 3 weeks there?
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. It's crazy. They were down for a really long time. It was scary. Because they're the ones that I do all of my reporting through too. So it's like I've got a deadline and they were not coming back up. And it was a little frightening. But everything's good now. Goodness.
So somebody want to make a motion to
I'll make a motion to accept the warrants as read.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Thank you. And I did send out to everyone the bank accounts from the Friends. I don't know if you guys want to look at them now or if you want to wait a couple more months. And then we kind of said like we probably shouldn't look at them very often because it's scary. But I did send it out if anyone wants to discuss. But anyway, it's up to you guys.
Is this so you get a little copy?
Yeah.
So we can just pass it around and.
Yeah.
Does that account?
That,
What's
the
going on
New
with
York
that?
Securities, New York Life Securities, it went down $1,800 in September. $1,000 a month before that.
Yeah. So I'll pass it if anybody wants to look at it.
But if we leave it, maybe it'll.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the worst person to talk to about
Yeah,
this
I
stuff
know.
because I don't
just,
like
yeah,
to
just leave it. I mean,
do these types of things.
So this, the Florence Savings Bank trustee account, was that the one we took the money out of the
CD.
CD?
Yeah, we put it in there, and then the
Okay.
bottom one is the New York Life Securities.
Okay.
I don't expect that we'd be making a lot of interest in a regular account right now, but we also wouldn't be losing.
Yeah, it's lots of people donated it money, like you said.
Exactly, yeah, that money's all donated to us, so I'm not really sure what the best plan of action would be. Just leave it and hope it crawls back up.
Well, I think Kate had said something like, you don't look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really, you can't look at it. It'll come up eventually. We don't need it for anything, so
Right for now.
just leave it there. I mean, where would you put it?
But you could just
You know
put
what?
it to a regular.
Unless you just put it into
Have it in the
a
right-
But then
regular
it's like, is there
savings account.
penalties for pulling it out?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know any of that
I
stuff.
don't think there were any penalties.
No.
I think we said we would be okay.
But you'll never get back what you lost,
Right, so if you leave it there, you
Right.
could get back what you lost.
or some of it.
This door back here. We should get a new one.
Yes, I have recently reached out to Chris Martin to see where we're at with that, because I did put it in as a work request to have the doors redone, because they look really bad from the outside. They were really weathered badly. At least this side door and the other side door, the ones that are like solid wood look the worst, but even our front doors, it's looking pretty bad.
So what door, this one and which other one?
That one and the one on the other side that the reading garden is, those are the ones people see the most that really should be done as soon
Is
as
that the one you can
possible.
walk through the children's room?
Yeah.
So do they just need refinishing?
They need to be stripped and refinished. And I know it's a tedious job, and I know our maintenance department is very busy, but perhaps this could be something they could work on in the quiet winter months. I don't know. They can paint.
No, I think it has to be like.
My front door every year.
Yeah, but take a look at it and you'll realize, yeah, it's like the resin's coming through. It's really, why they put that kind of door in here, I don't know.
So they're not wood.
They're wood, but they have a, yeah, hasn't
Like a
weathered well.
kind of a finish?
They look gorgeous from the inside.
They do.
Really scary.
Oh, wow, never.
Yeah.
No, I never.
So that could be something I also touch base with him on when we see him in person, because I have not heard back, so.
But I almost think you would have to take the door off. to see
Yeah.
it.
That's what Jeremy said, they'd have to do it one door a day kind of a thing, like, take it off and then it would have to go back on, and then they would go do another one. And so I know it's a tedious job and it's a lot.
Maybe on Mondays,
It is-
But it's the upkeep of the building. It's all back to that same topic that this town struggles with. The upkeep of buildings.
It's hard.
Yeah.
If you just let it go and let it go and let it go, it's not gonna get better.
Well said.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
I've even thrown it out there that do we want to replace them with something different that might last longer?
Right.
Like, let me know.
Or should we go back to the company that built this building and ask them why they made such a selection? And are there any warranties or anything?
It's only 10 years old.
Well, yeah.
9 years
but-
at this-
But this door sits in the
Yeah.
sun
The
pretty
groundbreaking
much
was
too long.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's open
Yeah,
to
we
the
noticed
west,
it's
it's open
open
to
to
the
the
lane.
Oh,
Yeah, October 17, 2012.
So, yeah, they don't last.
How bad is the other one on the other side, do you know?
It's pretty comparable to this.
Yeah.
Is it?
Those ones are the worst.
You know, at our church, that's what, we had the doors, the wooden doors, and they were beautiful, but again, 10 years, 12 years down the line, they look terrible. All the varnish was peeling off them, and so what we ended up doing was sanding them all down and painting them.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot, the upkeep is a lot easier.
That was something that Jeremy
Yeah.
did offer too, and I said I would have to discuss
Yeah.
it because do we want to change the
Well,
look
it would change the look a little bit, yeah.
or just go with it because it would be easier for us to maintain.
Yeah, a couple needs to be sanded up. Just keep knocking on their doors.
Yeah.
So you have
Keep
to
trying.
approach the town administrator for
Yeah,
that?
so I, excuse me, I put it in a work request, so we get these maintenance requests that we're required to give to the town every time we want something done. Probably 2 years ago now, and it might have even been, I believe I put it in when Dave Turcott was still working for the town, so it's been years.
Wow.
And then I discussed it with Jeremy when he took over, and I put another one through. But, you know, I think our project is kind of put on the back burner because it's like, they have to have the perfect day for it, and it's good timing when there's a whole bunch of other things going on. And I think
That's a big project.
pretty overwhelmed.
It's not-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it takes up a lot of days doing
Yeah,
all these
for
doors.
painting, you have to have it at least over, what is it?
50,
50, 55,
yeah.
I think it's 55 degrees.
Probably not a winter project.
It's probably not a good.
It's not a winter project, not an outside door, no.
Well, yeah, I think,
Well,
you know, we submit the request.
And just keep trying.
Just maybe ask them if they
Oh.
could put us on the agenda for like spring.
You're gonna get pictures to send to show him?
Yeah, we could do that.
Then you
Yeah,
have some
that would-
documentation too.
Yeah,
That would probably help, supporting pictures.
Jim, were you able to order those computers?
Yes, I do have, I ordered 4 of the Lenovo's, the little mini one that we have. We like that one a lot, so it would be nice. I'm actually probably in talking with our new volunteer, Xander, who is probably taking over as the treasurer of our Friends group. He had suggested doing some of our circulating computers first because they're so outdated and they're really susceptible to being hacked because they're so old. But he actually was able to come in with a newer version of Windows to try on one of our other computers, so he was able to update one of them. So I might have him work on updating more of the ones that the patrons use to keep them running and then replace a couple of our circulation computers before they die.
So which ones did you order?
I ordered 4 computers that I'm going to try to replace our staff computers
Okay.
first, the ones that do the circulating first and see what happens. And then next year, order 5 and start doing the 5 a year and kind of go by which ones are the oldest, you know, because our staff computers have been here since we opened. And then we only had, I think, 2 or 3 out in the main room, and then we added more, and then we added the teens, and then we added the children, so we'll kind of go in that order.
and I think you probably know which ones are which, when people come in and they get up and move because
Yes.
the computer does not work. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's where they're like, this isn't gonna work, and they to another one. So, yeah, the ones down closer to the circ desk work much better because they're newer. So, we'll just keep going as we can. It's unfortunate that our IT company can't just come in and update Windows on everything, but they claimed that that was too expensive. And it didn't make much sense to update old computers, which I do understand, but we were a tiny, small library on a small budget, so.
And they tend to make the technology where it turns obsolete after
Yeah.
a certain amount of time. And
No. Yeah, like, they looked at me like I had 10 heads when I told them that they've been here since we opened
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect? I can't afford new computers every year. Crazy. But
Remember you used to hitch it up to your TV monitor, the old, I don't know if you guys remember that, but
dial-up
keyboard,
internet.
you hitch up to the
Oh,
TV
yeah,
monitor.
it's scary.
Imagine how many phone lines we would have to dial-up internet on all
Yeah.
those computers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's so wild. Okay, so I will work on that and we'll see, I'll keep everyone posted about how we do with that.
Did we go over the policy work, the children's room?
Yeah.
Youth-
That's
oh,
the
okay,
policy.
okay.
Wait,
That's
no, we didn't. Oh my gosh, you guys. No, we didn't. Thank you. Where's my brain tonight? Okay, sorry about that.
So the one I
Rewind.
have doesn't have any red in it, so.
Oh, let me get you a red one. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Okay. So our children's room use, we were really cutting it short tonight. The use and rules of conduct policy, I did run this by Janice in the youth services department, and she, aside from the grammatical changes and things, didn't have too much to change. We did change the youth, the ages, and I talked to her about that beforehand, that I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but about 4 paragraphs down, youth ages 9 and younger may not be left alone in the library. When looking at a lot of different libraries' policies, it was 11 and under.
Okay.
And I thought, well, you know what, that's not a bad idea.
Right.
Because 9 is still pretty young to be leaving your children in
Yeah.
the library.
I agree.
Especially with the size of our building now and the amount of traffic we get in the building, it's probably not the safest. So backtracking, the guardian's responsibility for the youth, the only change I made there was to be a little more politically correct and get rid of the she, is, and he, she, and change it to they. And then in the second paragraph, we used the word caregivers after we said that we were going to use the term guardian, so I changed that to guardians. Are responsible for the behavior of the children in their care and must ensure that they, instead of the children, comply with the library's rules of conduct. An adult must accompany children under the age of 6 at all times, so be with them in the building. We can't be like, out looking at the adult books and leave their 6-year-old in the other room.
Which you probably find that does happen.
Does happen quite a bit. But it's in the policy in case anything happens,
Yep.
God forbid. So then the youth ages 11 and younger may not be left alone at the library. Library staff members attempt to ensure the safety of the children in the library. However, their duties as providers of library services prevent them from being able to supervise each individual child left in the library. And I put a suggestion, instead of that whole sentence, or library staff and volunteers cannot be responsible for the safety or behavior of children. I think saying that library staff attempt to ensure the safety sounds kind of rough.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not,
it's a little
it's
rough.
like,
Yeah.
we attempt to, but no promises.
Right.
Little Jimmy, but sounds like
You're putting on a bid,
I mean, it's my coffee hour, I gotta go. Little Jimmy's on his own. So my suggestion would be to take out that sentence.
The one that says library staff members attempt to ensure.
To ensure, and replace it with, and this is taken from another library's taken right out of another library's policy. Library staff and volunteers cannot be responsible for the safety or behavior of children. They're kind of your job.
So we'll keep in, youth ages 11 and younger may not be left alone.
Yes,
Library staff and volunteers cannot be responsible for the safety of behavior.
absolutely. So we just crossing out that second sentence.
Do you find people leaving their kids here alone that are under
Not
11?
very often.
It's hard to know how old kids are these days looking at
I know,
them, too.
that's
so.
true. We do sometimes have programs like the book club for the younger kids where, you know, a family will drop their children off with another parent and
Okay.
that parent will be here. So
Yeah.
that's like their
Yeah.
caregiver or
A
whoever.
guardian at the moment.
Like that's the
Yeah.
person who's going to make sure your children, so
Yeah.
that it's not all, you know, on our youth services librarian. Those kinds of things are okay as long as someone's there to watch the children and ensure their safety.
Mhm.
Someone has to be in charge. And then there's the unattended children at closing. 30 minutes before closing, staff will have children call their parents. If parents cannot be located by closing time, the police will be called. Under no circumstances shall a staff member take a child out of the building or transport the child to another location. After looking at others, I kind of decided that possibly a suggested change to that could be if a child under the age of 12 is found unattended at closing time, library staff will have them attempt to contact a caregiver. Staff are not permitted to remain after hours with an unattended child nor give the child a ride home. If a caregiver cannot be reached, staff will notify the police department to handle the situation. Just sounds a little nicer.
So hang on a second here. You're using the term caregiver down here, but if you remember up at the top, you're using the term guardian to refer to any of
Good
those.
catch. Thank you. So this is what I need you all. Their guardian?
Or guardian.
So guardian is referred, you can use the term guardian to refer to a parent, childcare. So yeah, I would say attempt to
Any
contact
person who
their,
is responsible for a child.
Yeah.
I would just say in attempt to contact a guardian,
Okay. and then
because
if a
that's the way
guardian
you're
cannot be
using
reached.
that term.
Thank you. I must have liked caregiver. After
Yeah.
I was like, nah, we're not using that word, then I put it in. Okay, so we'll change both of those.
Does that happen?
Sometimes it happens with like the teens, but not so much the little kids. Like after Dungeons and Dragons, sometimes we'll have one of the teens still hanging around waiting for a ride kind of a thing, but not with the little kids. Not anyone under 12.
So what if you found somebody that's 14, 15 at closing time? Do you just tell them to go sit outside? What?
Shuts the lights off and locks the door.
I'm leaving that. We would probably do the same thing. Like we always make sure, like
Yeah,
even
of
with.
course, I'm just wondering if it should,
Yeah.
you know, because there can be someone,
Maybe we could just say if a child is found unattended, like and just leave it as if a youth or
yeah.
somebody.
The bus drops kids off that age and doesn't worry, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone else, so. I don't think you could get.
So it doesn't technically have to be
Yeah.
under the age of 12. We could
Right,
just
so
say
if a youth is found unattended, yeah.
Okay, I like that. Because we always do, even with our teens, we always say, hey, were you able to contact your dad? Is your
But then
dad
if you,
coming?
would you, if a kid was like 14, are you gonna call the police department? Or something, because then you're leaving yourself open, if something does happen, then you said, oh, did you call the police? I don't know, that's why.
Right.
What do you do? I mean,
I mean,
Well,
kids
you
that
call-
age walk
you
around.
call-
I understand
You
that.
call the police department because you
Because you have
because
to-
she should not be here responsible.
No, she's not though, she's not
After
though.
hours.
Because the school does that, they just let the kids walk the track on
I
the
know.
202, and it's like,
Scary. But
someone get hit on the street, I
Like,
guess they don't worry about it, I don't know.
town policy is when we close, we need
There's
to.
no people in the building.
Yeah.
There's supposed to
Yeah.
be no
Right.
people sitting on the
It's
front
not really her
stoop.
responsibility.
So like to kind
So-
of turn it around
So you,
the other way, if something were to happen.
Yeah,
the
and
child
she writes
would
in there,
say, so-and-so tried to bring me home, or, you know, like.
right. And
Or you
that's
can
why
call
you-
the police.
That's
and
why
say
you
how
call
they
the police
can.
and the police could bring them home.
Right.
Right.
You know, that's.
So they could sit
So-
with them on the stoop.
Or they could sit with them.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
what they're there
Yeah.
for, is to.
Right.
ensure
I mean, I'm
the
sure
safety
they,
of
I'm
the
sure they would
community.
bring them home.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, better their job than.
Right,
yeah.
As
Oh, no,
far as
but.
like a liability for the
spectrum kind of a thing. Like, who knows if I let someone stay after hours waiting for a ride in the building, and who knows what, I should say happened, you know, like.
Right,
you just
right.
Never want to.
Or even outside.
Yeah, inside, outside.
Yeah,
You never know.
no.
You don't know, you don't know
So I like that. I think just
who's creeping
making
around
that
out
a
there.
little more general.
And people do drive up here when it's not open,
Yeah.
at night especially.
What were you
I've
gonna
seen
change
cars out
something
really
to
early.
youth?
So we're gonna change if a child under the age of 12 is found to if a youth is found
Yeah.
unattended at closing time. They will call their guardian.
So it's not gonna have under the age of 12 then?
Yeah, we'll just
No.
get rid of that and make that pretty across the board. Because I would, if it were someone's 13, 14, I'm not gonna ask them, hey kid, how old are you?
Right,
You
that's,
know,
yeah.
like I would always make sure that they.
So also
That's
change
fine.
caregiver in the
Hopefully
last
that's
sentence to
Right.
guardian too, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be in the library left alone anyway.
Wait, they shouldn't be.
Because it's like under the age of 11 or whatever.
But you're not even leaving outside alone now, you're saying?
Right, yeah.
But
We
she's
would make
assuming even
sure
outside of.
that the police would come.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that there was like in the paragraph above, you know, you
Oh, yeah.
ages 11 and you,
Oh,
younger
right.
than that, they.
They may
they're
not be
even
left
supposed to
alone
be
at the
left alone in the
library during open hours, maybe you
Technically
should
should.
say.
Where are you
During,
again?
we're at
Youth ages 11 and younger
Yeah.
may not be left alone at the library.
during open hours, during hours of operation.
Should not be left alone at the library anytime,
Yeah, they
Getting-
probably don't want
Getting
to.
pretty nitpicky here.
anytime.
I know.
That's right.
It shouldn't be anytime.
It shouldn't be any.
Nobody should
Right.
drop
Yeah.
anybody off out here at the
Yeah.
libraries.
Right.
Or if it's open,
They're
it's
waiting for me.
Right.
That hasn't happened too, but,
okay.
so we're
Yeah.
comfortable leaving
Yeah.
that? Okay.
So the unattended children at closing, so the first two paragraphs we're getting rid of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go with the red.
Too much.
All right.
A
Mhm.
little too specific. Okay, and then respect for other library users, and I had thought about cutting this down, but however, I've actually recently used this to kind of decelerate an issue that was happening between a couple of grown-ups in the children's room. And I brought this to them and said, these types of behaviors are disrupting.
What happened?
Okay,
no.
It just, people losing their minds. Just getting a little snippy with each other. And, you know, this really.
Playgroup gone bad.
Yeah. This kind of helped me say, like, be like the middle person and just say, like, I'm not trying to pick on you, I'm not trying to pick on you, I'm not asking anyone to leave. These are the clear-cut rules. If it happens again and it says clearly in here, what would, if, you know, I give a verbal warning, if it happens again, then we're gonna take it further from there. So I did leave it, no loud talking. I thought it was important, actually, backing up a little, to keep respect for other library users shall be maintained at all times. I think it's
Yeah,
really
that's good.
important that
That
people
is
know
good.
that it's not, we're trying not to be mean, telling you you can't have loud conversations or do whatever you want to do, but you're disrupting.
Yeah, so if you're studying or something,
Yeah,
writing.
studying. So if it infringes on any user's comfort level, it shall not be permitted. Examples are listed below. The library staff reserves the right to determine whether or not behavior not listed is also considered disruptive. So no loud talking, noises, shouting, no offensive or profane language. No food or beverages are allowed in the library, and I changed this based on what we put in our last policy, except in designated areas. No running in the library. Doesn't get followed, but that's okay. Do not move furniture. Furniture is placed for maximum use of space and safety. Child-sized furniture is to be used by children less than 6 years of age. I don't really know if we could just say child-sized furniture is to be used by children, period. Like, I don't know if we need to be putting an age on
I
it.
know.
Like,
Or
am I
some
gonna
mom
kick-
might sit in there waiting, looking at, you know, watching a little baby. I feel bad, but
Like,
like,
are we gonna kick like an 8-year-old out of the chair
No,
because
no.
they're
yeah.
I would
Yeah,
just
exactly, that too.
leave it as
That would be
children.
the
Or if you might get a Karen
leave it to-
complaining that-
Yeah.
What's he doing to that
Wow, it's true, it can happen. We get, yeah, and I'm not gonna, like, if a mom did sit in the smaller child.
Yeah, a little baby
you know,
or something.
you can call the police, but. Please use cell phones outside. I can't believe we have to keep telling people that. Youth must have written permission on their library card application form to use the library's internet services. Library computers are not filtered. That's important. Playing and banging on the computer keyboards is not permitted. Using
So
electric.
you don't have a filter on your computer?
No.
Some libraries do, because
Used to.
I've had issues for a long time.
We actually
Not
never
here.
have, but we've had issues in the past, in the old building with people looking at, unsavory things. But it's the whole freedom of speech, the right to information,
Yeah, that's true.
putting those filters can block people's access to certain information, which we could talk about all night.
Yeah.
But it's important to put it on there that parents know, like, it's preferable that they are here with their child doing the research on the computer while they're here. And all of our computers are very strategically placed where the librarian can see that.
Nice.
Yes, using electronic equipment with sound that may disturb other library users is not allowed. We do have headphones for that. Library toys must be put away, and library-themed kits are only to be opened at home. And then this little extra part, the special program and story time policies. I thought that might be a little bit wordy. So I put on there general children's room use rules to be followed at all times to kind of keep that. Programs are designated to meet the needs of specific age groups. The young user should attend programs appropriate for his or her age group, okay? Oh, shoot. Caregiver again, needs to be guardian.
Do you think she put his or her? People
I
are
was
so
just gonna
crazy.
say
She just
that.
put there because they're like
They.
going nuts about this.
Yes.
You should use the they again.
Where's
Yeah, and I don't want to get into trouble.
yes, there.
It's sort of like what Michelle was talking about.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some Karen saying, what did you do?
So true, like they, let's just, everything is
Do
they.
you agree with the, like, you want to secretly?
Well, it would be their age. It would be
Their age.
age.
Yes. And then a guardian must be in the building for children from 7 to 11 years old.
Okay,
Wait,
explain that.
wait a
What do you,
second.
yeah.
During programs, so during a program, anyone under 6, a guardian must stay with the child for the
Okay.
whole program. The guardian must at least be in the building for anyone from 7 to 11. So if they're in here doing their little book group, the moms sometimes are out doing their thing, but at least they're here in the building, they're not leaving them completely. If a child has difficulty sitting quietly during story time, please remove them from the program area until they're ready to return. That's actually really important. We've had to use that one. During programs, adults must refrain from excessive or disruptive conversations. And the library may occasionally cancel programs due to inclement weather, and staffing announcements are made through television, by phone calls, and posted online. So the ones I got rid of, I think it was just kind of like filler information.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, we don't really
This
need that.
streamlines it.
Yeah. I said I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but I felt like there was a lot in there that actually was very useful. A useful tool for myself when I get called in there to referee. How does everybody feel about it the way it is with changes?
Right.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. So we can vote. and we'll
Okay, yeah.
do it.
Make a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we accept the children's room use and rules of conduct as amended.
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then Alice's Memorial Gardens dedication was last Saturday. For those of you that couldn't make it, it was really wonderful. Everybody did a really great job. It looked beautiful. We had pretty good turnout.
We had a really good turnout.
20,
Yeah.
25 people.
It was like a Hallmark moment.
Yeah, it really was.
I was like,
Right?
I feel like I'm come out and work. It would be feel good. It's so neat.
Did you
It
speak?
was so beautiful.
We did, Jen did, and Jen and Hartley did.
Oh,
There were no fresh Nope, I don't think so.
That's too bad.
What, the press?
We put it out there so that
Nobody
press.
from the
Oh,
state
no,
or
right,
anything.
right,
No.
Not even a story in like the Sentinel or something?
Well, I had been interviewed by the Reminder.
Okay.
And there was a little article that appeared before.
Okay.
I wrote an article, I don't know that I saw it anywhere being published. I don't know if anybody saw it anywhere.
Oh, about Allison? About Allison?
Yeah.
I had one point.
Yeah, I think when she first
Because I
passed
wanted
it, I think it was
to be there, you know, but.
It's all good, of course.
Can't make it to everything. But you did miss all the goodies I got.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it was perfect.
And we had a good spread. I mean, everyone seemed pretty happy about it.
Yeah, even her son showed up, which was nice.
Yeah, he was there. So it was like,
Yeah. The solar fountain down for the winter at some point.
Is that gonna be hard to do?
Well, there is a pump underneath everything that,
Does that have to be trained?
I'm not sure. I don't think Alice removed it. I think she left it in the ground in the winter,
little enough. He's the one who set it up.
but, yeah, he said she didn't take it out of the ground.
Did it run all winter?
I don't think so. Because hers was electric, it wasn't solar.
So it could have run all winter
Could have.
if she kept it going day and
Maybe
night.
she did or didn't.
Wouldn't have frozen.
I just don't want that to dig that hole down.
Because that little tiny thing there.
Oh my God.
I'm having.
Well, we can use that money to hire
my
somebody who
tomorrow
can
to
possibly
blow
do
out
it
my
ourselves.
sprinklers.
Yeah. So this like process
Okay.
runs from the spring.
So,
It turns back.
These actually came
She'll be
to
fine.
my house last month through,
It looks great
White
anyways,
Hall.
even when it's not on.
Yeah.
so.
So maybe I didn't have the sun here in the fall,
Tell them
so
what we have
still it's
here.
really nice.
See if it comes in.
Oh, that was so neat.
Right.
It was so like serendipitous, all of a sudden it
Now
just
it's
starts
green.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It's nice.
So, there was like just one other thing with Janice's mom passing away. Is there something that we were doing?
Do you want me to send
Yeah.
her, do you want me to send her the card from all of us?
Tuesday. Yes, please,
Okay.
that would be
All right.
wonderful. And then Janice McCardle has already picked out a couple of books.
Okay.
Because Janice Cook reached out to me and said that her mom would have loved to have children's books
Oh, nice.
in her honor, since she loved children so much. So Janice found a couple that were about grandmas. So we're gonna
Oh,
put
that's nice.
something in there for her as well. So we'll be doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome, Michelle, thank you.
Yes.
I don't know, anybody have anything to discuss? Everybody's so quiet. So we're gonna close it down and say that the next meeting is gonna be November 8th. And anybody wanna make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:07 almost.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.